Hi there, welcome back again. I'm on a spree now to continue our lesson about leg yielding. And the reason I chose a spree is because she is just a young horse and this is all very new to her under saddle. She's done a lot of the work, as I mentioned earlier, in hand since she was 2, but as a 4-year-old under saddle, we're only just beginning this part of her training. So it would have been easy for me to show you these exercises on tattoo, but I figured it would be more educational for you to see a young horse just learning it so that we could do some troubleshooting if we need to. And most importantly, because not only is leg yielding fun, because who wouldn't purposely want to go sideways on their horse, but it's also a really important exercise to know to help you to develop more balance and straightness with your horse. So for today's lesson, I'm going to do the same exercises under saddle that we did in the last groundwork lesson. I'm going to show you how to progress into a more technically correct leg yield that you would perform in a first level test. And then hopefully I am going to successfully demonstrate for you how my leg yielding aids can help me get a spree better balanced and straighter, not only on a straight line, but on a circle line. Okay? So if you're ready, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and I'll get started with those basic exercises we did in the groundwork lesson. All right, so I'm going to start off by tracking left. I'm going to head over to the wall. And I'm going to try that nose to the wall leg yield from up here. So I'm going to use my right elbow to flex her a little bit towards the wall, her head. And I'm going to ask her right hind leg to cross under. Again, I'm going to try to get my timing just right so I get a nice cross under from her. So I'm going to try to feel for that right hind leg coming off the ground. And when I do, that's when I'm going to push it. Okay? So now I'm going to go straight ahead. And the spree is a little distracted by the back door here today. So I'm going to actually use my leg yielding aids over to my right rein to keep her focused on me. So one useful use of your leg yielding aids, keep them focused on you instead of what's happening outside. But again, I'm going to do nose to the wall leg yield. I'm going to feel for this right hind leg. And if you're not quite feeling it yet, you can tell where her right hind leg is by looking at her left shoulder. So as that left shoulder is going forward, her right hind leg is also coming forward. So you can kind of time your leg and your whip aid like that. And then when I want to try it the other way, I'm just going to do a little baby half turn, a little teardrop shape. Switch my whip over and get the spree moving a little bit. And then I need to flex her nose slightly left towards the wall. And try to time my aids when this left hind leg is coming off the ground. And again, a spree is worried about what's happening outside, but I'm going to try to just keep her feet moving so we can get over that and continue on with our lesson. All right, we'll go forward and we'll try it on the other wall. The boogeyman's out there today, I guess. So when you're approaching it from your short side, what you can think of is you're going to cut your corner here so that you're headed on a little bit of a diagonal line. And as you're approaching the wall, start that left flexion and come and go with your left leg. So as her right shoulder moves forward, you press your left leg to get that left hind leg to kind of catch up with the right shoulder. So now, now, now. And we'll see if we can get her to do it on the other side. One more time. So I'm going to say now when I feel her left shoulder, her left hind leg coming off the ground, and you're going to watch that. So we're pressing now, now. Helps if we get her going. All All right, we'll do it on the other side. I don't know what the deal is over here. Now, 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 now. You see, when a spree gets distracted with things outside, my response here is to keep asking her for what I want to ask her for, so she learns to pay attention to me instead of the other things. Okay, so now, 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 now. She wants to do it at the trot, that's fine. So we'll get a nice trot going. And I'm actually going to change direction so we can start off to the left. And we'll go over to that scary wall. See if we can do our nose to the wall leg yield down that wall. Little left flexion here so she pays attention. All right, so notice I'm going to change my posting diagonal. So while I'm trotting, if I'm following this left shoulder up, I know her right hind leg's off the ground, and I can time my leg aid. When I go straight ahead, I change my posting diagonal back to the correct posting diagonal. If you have trouble using your leg on the up, then you can post on the wrong posting diagonal, but you will find that's a little bit more awkward for your horse to do it that way. So it's a little bit more comfortable. I'll change direction again. I'm going to post to her right shoulder and try to get her, there we go, to cross that left hind leg under. A little diagonal, change my posting, and push her on down the wall. See if we can't get her to start working without worrying. All right, so once you feel like you've done pretty good with your nose to the wall leg yield, we can start trying a little bit more of a traditional leg yield. I like to start by turning early onto my quarter line and asking her to go over to the wall. Good girl. And I'll try that again on the other side. So again, think about your timing. You can get the timing of your leg aid just right. You can get that hind leg to stay caught up to the shoulder, and she can move sideways. Often what happens, people when they start leg yielding, the horse's shoulders get heavy and fall over to the wall, and the haunches get left behind. Did you see how her haunches didn't really stay caught up, okay? So if you find that's happening to you, you're just gonna try to slow her shoulders down and quicken the hind leg at the same time. So nice and straight on the cord line, then sideways. So make sure when you turn down your quarter line, nice and straight first, then leg yield. Don't start leg yielding until you're finished with your turn. Another common mistake that riders make, they turn on the quarter line and they start leg yielding like this before they finished the turn. So I'm going to show you the correct way. You want to make sure that your horse's hind legs have finished that turn onto the quarter line first, and then leg yield. Whoop, and then she will change direction. Try the other way. So once you feel like your leg yields are pretty good from your quarter line, you can start getting closer and closer to your center line. Good. So Spree's getting pretty good at it from the quarter line, excuse me. And again, you leg yielding gaze to get her to pay attention to me. Straight on the quarter line, then sideways. Good girl. So since she's being pretty good, maybe I could try a little closer to my center line. As I rise, I'm asking her to go sideways. She gets a little too quick with the shoulder, slowing her down up front, and I'll turn around and we'll see if we can leg yield left from the center line. So as I rise, I'm going to use my right leg and go sideways. Doesn't want to do this way. Come on, buddy. Give her a little break. But again, she is still young. This is all new to her. So I can take a hint. And she's worried, so we'll just do it at the walk from the center line to start. And I got to get her nice and light. As I mentioned in the last lesson, her go-to evasion is to get super heavy in the bridle and her shoulders. There, good girl. I want to just keep working so that she stays focused on me. But you notice that Esprit does lose her focus and sometimes will counter bend because she's more interested in what's happening outside the ring than she is here inside the ring. There. So this leg yielding work is actually good work for me to do with her so that I can get her a little bit more responsive to my yielding aid so that when I want to ride a circle, I can get her bending nicely around the circle. And if she starts to get distracted, those same leg yielding aids are the same aids you would use for bending, just a little less sideways. You just want to get, in this case, the right side of her body to move over to the left rein, and that my left rein can guide her around the circle. This is something that we worked on in our last riding lesson to establish contact. So we establish a little bit impulsion and a little bit of contact. That leads us into our straightness. You see that we have to think about being straight even on the line of a circle, which what the heck does that mean? It just means that the horse's body takes the shape of the circle so that the inside of her body is shorter than the outside, that all 4 feet are on the same line, and that her shoulders are nicely balanced between the reins. So if you have a horse that gets a little bit heavy and wants to lean on one shoulder or the other, some horses like to blow their shoulder out of the circle. Some horses like to fall in on the circle. So your leg yielding aids are the same aids you would use to correct that, to get that shoulder back in the middle of the reins. All right, so she's had a little bit of a break. Let's see if we can go back to leg yielding from the center line. I'll get her going. And we can use that exercise we did in the last riding lesson to kind of get her a little bit more connected, a little bit more forward impulsion. She starts listening to me. Here I'm using my right rein, right leg, move her over to my left rein so she stays nice and balanced. Whoop, and then we go straight ahead. Use my leg yielding aids a little bit through the corner. Turn towards the center line. Get a nice, soft, straight horse, and then try moving her sideways. That right hind leg, good, to cross under. Okay, so obviously she still needs some work on that to keep that hind leg coming with and keeping up with her outside shoulder. So we will keep working on that. But I'd like to just show you a little bit about how the leg yielding can help you with getting those shoulders balanced and straight between the reins. And I'm going to try just to do a little bit of canter for you, just as an example. And I'll exaggerate. I'm going to do a little leg yielding with the Esprit at the canter. So you can actually see that I can move her shoulders from left to right and vice versa while we're cantering. And if I can get her to canter sideways, I can certainly get her to just move her shoulder over a little bit to rebalance when I want to, okay? So I'm going to go back to that nice circle exercise where you do the small circle, establish a little bit of bend, impulsion, and contact. And as I'm bending, asking Esprit to trot so she learns that she can keep her head down in her transitions. And then I'm going to go back to my small circle and try that canter transition. And I'm going to canter straight, which is straight is hard for a young horse. I'm going to show you how my leg yielding can help me help her get a little straighter while she canters. So I'm going to canter straight away from you, and I'm going to use my left rein and my left leg to push your body into my right hand. Then I'm going to turn early, and I'm going to leg yield her to the wall. Whoop. We'll try that again. You see, I want her to get used to me moving her shoulders while we're cantering so she can get better balance and move over to the wall. Good girl. I'm going to let her walk. We'll change direction and try that the other way. So like I said, it's not only is it a fun movement to learn and something that you have to learn at the trot in order to do a first level dressage test, but they're important aids for you to know and for your horse to know so that you can keep your horse straight and balanced, and then not always just pushing their shoulders and falling in and falling out while you go. It really helps them to get strong and healthy and fit. So we're just going to do that canter exercise one more time, and then we will give you your challenge for today, which is the same challenge you did in last lesson. Just we're going to do it on your saddle. All right, so first we're walking, trying to find where Esprit's inside hind leg is so I can get that engaged as I'm walking. As I'm turning, I'm going to ask her for trot so she understands she can trot without popping her head up. Good girl. Get a nice trot where she's paying attention around the bigger circle here. She just wants to run. So I'm going to make sure I have my speed control, right? She's ready. And then I'm going to do my small circle. Get her put together so she's not running into her canter. She's past that at this point. Look up and on the right. Turn a little early. Yield her away from my right rein, my right leg. Try that again. Turn early. Good. I'm just encouraging her that she can do it. Yield away and stay balanced. So you can see if I can do that and I'm riding a canter circle and she starts to fall in, I can certainly get that shoulder popped back over between the two reins and rebalance her. Okay, one more little break and then I will show you your challenge. Well, the leg yield at the canter is challenging enough, but we're going to have a little bit of fun and see if we can get Esprit to do little baby zigzag leg yields. And then next time I ride tattoo for you, we can show you steeper, more exciting ones. In addition to moving on to our other lateral work, haunches in, half pass, and our turn on the haunches. Okay, so for your zigzag leg yield, the easiest way to start those is to, again, start at the quarter line and move towards the wall because the horses have a tendency to want to move towards the wall. So that's the best way to get your horse going with leg yields. And then you start getting them a little bit more confident moving away from the wall. So I'm going to head towards B, see if I can get that steepness that I can make it to B, then go a little straight, and then I'm going to change the flexion and ask Esprit to leg yield away from the wall. And I just go to the quarter line to start. And she did pretty good about that. This horse doesn't seem too overly concerned about moving away from the wall. So once you get it that direction, you can start at the wall, turn through your corner, change your flexion, and bring the horse away from the wall. Again, it's easiest if you get your timing just right. then forward and straight. Change the flexion, and your right leg, get that hind leg under, under. And then when she does it at the walk nicely, we can try it at the trot. So you can do this. I would change your posting diagonal, leg yield away from the wall. Change it back, leg yield back towards the wall. Good. I'm going to say on the correct posting diagonal, try it from the quarter line. Straight horse first, then leg yield, straight horse, leg yield away. Notice when I leg yielded to the right, I changed my posting diagonal. All right, I'm going to go across the diagonal, and we'll try those the other way. I'm going to come down my quarter line to start. Whoop. I'm going to look up at B as I rise. Bring her over, straight, and then back, and forward and straight. Change my posting diagonal again. Now I'm going to try it from the wall. 1, 2, over with that left shoulder. Right hind leg keeps up. Straight horse, change my posting diagonal, change the flexion, and over. So this ring is a little small. That's why I did it from the quarter line. If you're outside in a big arena and you're getting good, you can try it from your center line and zigzag back and forth and see how good you are about making that change of direction. So little pointers. When you're doing the zigzag, really make sure you are looking for the line that you're riding towards, so that once you get there, you can do a couple of forward straight steps and make your change of flexion and go back the other way. So if I were going to do it from the wall here, I'd straight horse, flexor right. I want to get to the quarter line. Good. And when I'm at the quarter line, I'm going to go forward and straight a few steps, flex left, and then go back to the wall, like that. And as far as that posting diagonal, sometimes people get a little confused by that, but if you are leg yielding left and you're doing it at your rising trot, you're going to want to post with that left front shoulder and vice versa. So if you're going to leg yield right, you're going to post with that right shoulder. Okay, so if you're trotting and you head over to the wall and you want to leg yield away from the wall, as you're coming towards the wall, you're going to change your posting diagonal to follow your left shoulder, flex the horse right, and then move over with that left shoulder and vice versa. So hopefully that makes sense. You can go back and watch how I did them and how I changed my posting diagonal when I went straight and then back the other direction. Okay, so that's a lot. I know that's a lot, but I do want you to make the realization that the leg yielding, of course, is something that you're tested on if you're going to be a competitive dressage rider, but it's super important for your balance and straightness training. We've talked a lot about rhythm and relaxation in this video series. The last few lessons we talked about contact and impulsion, so now it's time to talk about straightness, and bending aids and leg yielding aids are really good ways to help your horse get stronger and more balanced so that they can go straight, not only on a straight line, but on their circle line. Okay, so I hope that lesson was helpful to you. If so, please share it with a friend. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to head over to my website for the notes for this lesson, and I hope you have a great ride. Thanks for watching.